Today on Boston Girl Bakes, I'm showing you how to make these perfect red velvet cupcakes with cream cheese frosting. A red velvet cupcake is a buttermilk-based cupcake made with just a hint of cocoa powder. So let's get baking. You're going to start by combining cake flour, baking soda, cocoa powder, and a little bit of salt, and just simply give that a whisk to combine. We're using cake flour because it has a lower protein content than regular flour, so it's going to result in a really light and fluffy cupcake. In a second mixing bowl, we're going to cream together some unsalted softened butter. I'm just using half a cup or one stick, adding in some granulated sugar, and then we will cream that together. I'm using a hand mixer, but you could also use your stand mixer with paddle attachment and beat this on medium speed until light and fluffy, about 2 minutes. Then add in your large room temperature eggs. You want them room temperature so they don't seize up the butter, which would knock out all of that beautiful air that we just incorporated in the creaming step before. Once that's beaten to combine, you'll add in some vanilla extract for flavor. I'm adding in 1 teaspoon. You're going to add in some oil. I'm using canola oil, but another neutral oil like vegetable oil also works. It's going to make for a really wonderfully moist cupcake. And then add in 2 tablespoons liquid red food coloring. I'm just using McCormick red food coloring, the kind you just grab at the grocery store. Once that's all beaten together, we're going to work on adding in our buttermilk and our dry ingredients. To your buttermilk, you're going to add in some extra white vinegar, just 1 teaspoon, and give that a stir to combine. If you don't have buttermilk, I'll link below to how you can make your own at home. We're going to alternate the dry ingredients and the buttermilk. This is going to help prevent the batter from separating and also help prevent over mixing. So we're going to add in a little bit of the buttermilk at a time and then alternate it with adding in some of the dry ingredients. So go ahead and add in a little bit of each at a time, beat that to combine. You'll do this in about 3 additions total. You want to make sure to mix on low speed so you don't overmix at this point since we're adding in the flour mixture. If you continue to mix the batter, you're going to result in developing way too much gluten, which is going to result in a really tough and chewy cupcake. When alternating the ingredients, you want to make sure to end with adding in the flour mixture. Once the last of the dry ingredients have been mixed in, you can go ahead and scoop your batter. You're going to line a cupcake pan with some cupcake liners. I like to use a scoop so that they all come out the same size. You want to fill these about 2/3, 3/4 full. Do not overfill them, otherwise they will collapse when they are done baking. Bake at 350 degrees for 18 to 20 minutes. While those are baking, we're going to go ahead and make our cream cheese frosting, which is simply some softened cream cheese and some unsalted butter. I recommend using full fat cream cheese that is in the block style for the best texture. I'm adding in a little bit of vanilla extract for flavor and a pinch of salt just to balance the sweetness. Then I'm going to add in my powdered sugar. I recommend doing this about a cup at a time and mixing on low speed. You don't want to add it all at once or otherwise you're going to end up with a powdered sugar blizzard all over your kitchen. So I add in about a cup, I mix it on low speed, and then I continue to add a little bit more. Once the last of your powdered sugar has been added and your cream cheese frosting is nice and light and fluffy, you can go ahead and set that aside. I like to just keep it in the fridge until I'm ready to use it. These cupcakes bake at 350 for about 18 to 20 minutes. When they're done baking, I like to test them with a toothpick in the center. I'm looking for just some moist crumbs but no wet batter. I let them cool on a wire rack, and once they're cooled completely, you can go ahead and frost your cupcakes, but make sure they're absolutely cool before you frost them, or otherwise any kind of heat is going to melt your cream cheese frosting. I like to decorate by using one of the cupcakes. I crumble it up and decorate it with some of the crumbs on top, but you could always obviously use any kind of sprinkle that you would like, or even simply keep them plain. I hope you give this red velvet cupcake recipe a try. These cupcakes come out tender and fluffy, and I just know you're going to love them. Let me know in the comments section. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, happy baking.